Hiya, Xavier, bottom of the garden, and I've got my Dawn Redwood. Now normally I don't touch them this time of the year, but there is an opportunity to, and I can actually then remove all of these fronds, and all these that are dying off. None of them actually produced any sort of buds on them, so the tree's saying don't need them anymore. So I was looking at this and was going to clean this off and just have a look and see where we've got buds set. We've got buds set all over the place, so that's going to be next year's growth. But I can actually clip back to the buds that I want now. And again, if you look on the bottom, even on the bottom of this, the reason why this is still on there is that right at the end of the tips there are actually 2 buds. You can't see that, I know, and that's why that stayed on there. These should have, all of these here were laid out earlier in the year with a view that they were going to form buds on them. Got hit by those horrible 2 sets of heat periods of 40 degrees plus, and all of these died. So all this work that I put in for this year to try and establish some greater pads failed. Okay, this next redwood. Decided to put the rock there simply because we had this ridiculous shape, and if you see a picture that I might be putting up how it originally looked, I was just trying different ways of displaying it better. Lovely bit of old rock. Again, it's got wired, and again I've just got to do the same things I've just done with the other one. I want to get more length out here, so in this case I'm actually going to let the growing tips run, but I'm just going to which one should we do? Just do adjacents. That hasn't got any frond on the ramifications, so we'll leave that. No, that's got a little tip there. So we'll do that. If you notice there, I've got a little bud there, and also you can see how easy. The branch had obviously broken a month ago, and there's already a little bud growing there. Something coming out of the crotch growth. Get rid of that. We've got backward growing here. More crotch growth in there. Adjacents. So we've got one on this side, one on this side, so we're going to remove that one. I'm going to leave the growing tip because I still know I'm not. Okay, we've got this one coming up here, it's higher in the tree, all the way back. This one, there's no ramifications, so we have to leave it. We've got this odd thing here, which is never going to be anything that I can see. We've got something here growing. If I can wire do something. You'll see it's got a tip on it. This is what I mean with the redwoods. There's 2 buds on that. So I think the reason why I've left that is because my intention is early next year is to wire that into something down like that. And that wood I could probably wire now, but I shan't. So I'll leave that for now. If you look at it, you've got a junction there, 1, 2. And then it goes up, and then from this junction 1, 2, so we've got this one here which has got, there we go, and then coming out of here, so that one's needed. Get rid of that, and if you can't, there we go, get rid of that one there. Got a load of growth. If you look at this, coming up on this branch here, I don't know how well you can see, but you've literally got frond after frond that are growing up here. And Dawn Redwood love to get wet. They like wet feet, as they say. But also, they can rot a bit from the inside out. But it's nothing to worry about. So I've got lots of fronds growing there. So what I'm going to do is take growing tips off where there's ramification, and here I'm just looking at what's opposite, what's adjacent, what's getting in the way. Okay, so that's now all sorted out. We'll see how they develop. I don't know if you can see here where you've got 1, 2, 3. And I've got to try and decide if I'm going to, I'm going to remove, or the obvious thing to do is take that back. Okay, and then see what I've got here. So I've got a frond here, which should allow that to grow right out, so I won't take the growing tip off. That will provide the next level there. So when you look at it from the front there, that'll give you what you want out there. Loads of wire. The reason why I've done that is, I'm just going to have 1, 2, so that's where I want my growth. I'm just reorientating the use of wire there. I think that's as much as I'm going to do on that one. I mean, if you, wow, they've come so far. Get the moss off, because they like, as I say, they like to be damp. So if you've got moss on there, all you're doing is encouraging the rot to take place. Okay, so that's the second one. And already I can tell you, on this one there's a bud here, and there's probably a bud there. So do I want something all the way out here coming out? No. So I already know that I'm not having anything, I'm not having that. So I can just do that. There's nothing on the end of that. So let's get rid of that. And we just clean this all up. If you look here, interesting, I mean there's the front. I don't know whether it's going to stay with the rock. I do like that rock. That actually might make a much better root on rock. It's got all those crevices, but looking at that from the front, I need to make some decisions. So there's actually an ideal point here. I can either let it continue to grow down, but I've actually got 2 buds coming out here. We've got quite a long period with 1 and 2, so that's already far too long. It means I'm going to get growth here, and then I'm going to go back a long way. So looking at if I'm bringing the tree back in and not starting again, I may well take it back. There's a bud there, and a bud there. So I may well just do that. Take it back there. Underneath there's a bud there. I'm happy with both these branches, so I don't want that, so I'm going to rub that one off. And the other thing is you look at the barks. What you don't want is stuff growing under the bark, like little horrible bugs. Get a little bit of white forming, so I'll clean all that off. Lovely redwood underneath there. I wonder if that's why they call it the redwood. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working my way around there, looking at all this. We've got 2 buds here, and it could be quite interesting. I've only got the 1 going up there, so I may keep 1. Get rid of that one, so we get a branch out that way. Then higher up here we've got a bud here, branch here. Again, there's a very long distance with nothing on this branch until we get out here. And I may look at that and go, do you know what? Do I take it all the way back and say, okay, we get a branch here, 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 although I think the answer is simple. I've brought this one back here, so if I want to keep the proportion right, I've got to make a tough decision and go, that hasn't worked, let's start again from some of these buds. But no, so if we've got something coming out here, I need to be bringing that in. I can't have that one longer than the bottom one. So, okay, so we'll have a branch here, I have something going up there, and here, got one here. Now, I've already got this one, I'm keeping this one, so I don't want to have anything more coming off of it if I'm keeping this. And again, I may actually decide that this is too much, because you think how the growth's going to come out. You know, I'm going to have something coming from here, two from here, possibly one going up there, one from here. I've got the possibility of another one going, so two, so going out this way. I've got the same thing there. Do I really want this one up here? I think the answer to that is no. There's one that's going to come directly towards me. I don't want that. I don't want anything. There's something down there that's going downwards. Don't want downwards. There's two here that will be parallel to each other, so I won't want that one. Okay, so we've got the bud selection there, and here we've got something on the inside of the bend. I don't want that. And what I'm saying to the tree is, by all means, concentrate, set your buds, but I only want you to set it on these ones that I've selected. And I'm going to systematically go around this and clean it up. Again here, nothing's been set on the ends. There's one set right on the end here, but nothing further back, so that's no good to me. It's the same with this one. No buds there at all, so that branch is not much good, so that's coming off. We've got two buds, so we'll take them. Which means from there, I had a wire down, I get two more coming out this way, then I've got this one here which will send out another. This one, there's two again, that suits me fine. And then if I'm going to keep these two, that one's going up, which could work, but I'm not going to take those, so I'm going to remove. There's another one in that crotch there, I'm going to remove that. Coming further up, again you've got to remember, keep proportion of the tree's got to come in. I'm not having anything dangling right over there, so this great big long thing, although it's got nice buds at the end here, I might, thinking about wire, I can redo the orientation of the buds to give me what I want. But if there's nothing, there is absolutely nothing lower down that, so that's no good to me at all. And what I will do is probably wire this, but not today, I don't know, maybe. And actually again we've got two from there, so we're not going to want that. Don't want the tree to waste energy on that. Okay, so I'll clean that up, come back to you in a minute when I've done all that. Oh look, little bird, a little birdie. Well, welcome back. So what have we done? We've changed the front. This is now going to be the front. Obviously the rock, which served no purpose at all but to distract the eye, has gone. I noticed with all this lovely red bark that was showing up, I wanted to show it off, and because I've slowly improved how the tree is, I think it can work without it. So looking up through here now, we've got this lovely base here, split root, but really nice, and like it coming up. And then you might say, well, the problem is this one, you can see there's loads of little buds that are coming up on it, but there's also 1, 2, 3, there's a lot of busy there, and I know when I had it this way it made more sense, but that's a very straight and unnatural. And if you look at the front now being in here, sort of in there, that will be removed. One that's behind it is going to take over, sort of mirroring the curves on this, and it is, I know it's unnatural for a redwood, but hey, this is my interpretation of the new dawning of redwood. So that is going to be removed at this point here, and I'll be doing a cutting of that in the springtime, and I've had a lot of success with redwoods, so that's what that's going to be. so I'll leave it there for now. But what I've done is wired around it with a view of just getting bud placements, so the bud placements are going to be where I want them, fanning out from here. Front is there. Yeah, so front is about there. So I'll give you a spin on it. The old front was somewhere there. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm really happy with that one. So we're going to shoot straight over to the second redwood. But before we do that, let's move that to one side. I always got something in the post. Now I know we've done things to death, but I got an email from Guy of Bognor Regis Bonsai. Totally unexpected. And you know what's going to be in here. And no, I'll have a look quickly what seeds we've got. Really unexpected. Thanks so much, Guy. And again, Guy's a bit like me. He's real. I think he's pretty genuine when he does his bonsai stuff, and he just enjoys it so much that's what makes him fun to watch. Here are the Circe squilistrum Judas tree. Seeds as promised. The tree is hardy in the UK, so no special requirements needed. Well, they always need special requirements when I'm dealing with them. So yeah, they're here. I presume I just put that in soil. Yeah. So I'm going to have a little look. I presume we just open up the seed pods. There we go. That's a Judas seed. I hope when it goes, when it grows fully, it doesn't develop a halter and have one of the disgraced apostles hanging from it. I really wouldn't want to see that. Anyway, that's wonderful. I'll get all those seeds out, and a bit like I did with the maple, I'll spread them out and they'll sit in the corner of the garden and overwinter. But thanks very much for that, Guy, and we'll let you know how those get on. Okay, this is the second of the Dawn Redwoods. This one, really do like it. I'll have a look and see again once I remove all the fronds. And as I say, you can see they're all just peeling off quite easily. Very much nicer cover. I mean, that's how it looks now. Lovely movement in there. So I'm going to get all the fronds and stuff off that, wire it up, come back, and let's see what you think of what I do with it. Okay, this is the third of the redwoods, and probably the last one that I purchased. And as I say, all the redwoods I originally got from Xavier nurseries. I've had them for 3 or 4 years and just been working on their structure. I think I took a lot of them. I took both of them back to basics fairly early on, and have been really regrowing stuff. So you know, there's a lot of work when you get the sort of imported stuff sometimes, but I think you can see it can be worth it. So I'll give you a spin of it now. Again, still in the very early stages of development. We're just starting to really solidify that secondary structure. And I can see now there isn't a lot of these are very green, so there's nothing much there. We've got a lot of crotch growth in there. Move from there, we've got some growth there. It's dying at the end there. There could be a number of reasons for that. It's brown off there. I'm going to take that tip off, see what happens. And yeah, and probably an indicator that there is a problem with this particular frond is that there's a bud coming out there, something there, which if I've got that bud coming, I might take a chance and remove that, see if that encourages that. There is actually another bud there growing as well, so nothing on that. And if you look at that, actually what we've got here is 1, 2. I mean, this is relatively ugly. I say relative. What do you mean relatively? It is ugly. That's something growing up there, which I could keep. I could actually keep that. I don't know how that would work, but I may end up losing this. It's obviously the problem because there's dye back there as well. Yeah, so you've got new buds coming there, so that's where the energy is going to go. I'm tempted at this stage to remove that. I remove that, let that grow. I've got this one. Or I could just remove that whole lump. That's a decision I'm going to make once we've lost all the growth. Yeah, see that's dying off as well. It's clearly a problem here. I've got 1, 2 bud, but even they're looking yellowed off. But I can't really do anything about it now, so I'm just going to watch and see what happens. I'm actually going to do something a little bit more extreme and take that off and see if I can get those buds to actually go. See if we can take the growing tip off that. Again, up here, that's going to be the roots. There's something going on in the roots there. Basically, the roots are either too compacted and it's just not getting enough water through the whole system. Never really see it, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 branches all coming out. I'm just going to see if we can balance it out a little bit. One's dieback as well. And where there's clear dieback, I'm literally cutting them back and trying to promote a new bud to grow. Yeah, that's telling me that needs repotting, so that's going to go down as a priority repot next year, that's for sure. Can't remember, was I supposed to repot that this year? May have slipped through the system. Smaller pot. To be fair, I've discovered with redwoods, they prefer to be in a slightly deeper pot and have a little bit more soil room. I'd have a feeling this has dried out at some point in the last month or so with all that baking heat we've had. So, okay, I've got rid of quite a bit of the growth on it, and now I'm just cleaning up down here, to be honest. Just see what, got quite a lot of nice roots there, so let's see what's there before the green moss gets there. It's quite a nice broad base actually, so I like that. Not sure about a round pot, but get rid of any dead and dying roots. Crossing, don't want that one. Right, so what are we going to do with this now? Well, I don't think there's going to be any change to the basic design or shape of it. I will probably wire, maybe. Well, we've got to decide here, because I've actually got, I mean, looking at just straightforward junctions, we've got junction goes to 2, to 2, to 2. Well, we're doing that to 2, but here we've got 3 on this junction, so I'm going to make a decision which one goes. One at the back, that's fine. Cut that back, we want that to come out. Right, so if we know that that's the front, what do we do up here? What do we do up there? Let me have a think. That's a nice movement. I love the movement here. That's quite straight, that, but it is what it is. There's an argument for actually removing one of these. So you could actually take that whole top bit off there, remove that, all of that, have that coming out this way, and that being a new. Although by doing that, what you do lose is this back growth there. Just don't like this really straight bit here. And I don't really like how this continues up there. I've got to make a decision because there's 3 from the same point. So if I remove this, then the whole front, I've got nothing in the foreground. It becomes it's already quite two-dimensional, but it'll become even more so. So really I need this and this coming towards. The other option is to remove that. Got quite a few buds on this. I bring that down. This one's actually got bud there. I'll come back to you and decide what to do. Okay, I have been making decisions. There was a big branch coming up here. That's gone now, and I'm relying on the fact there's a couple of little buds here and here. But it's also that was a great heavy branch and was distracting the guys. So I want stuff. There's another little bud here. I want that to grow out, and proportionally wise, it should be better. And that's again what you're looking at with taper. You know, if you're coming up here and then the branch up here is thicker than the branch down there, it just doesn't look right. So sometimes rebuilding on poor design earlier on. So I'm going to almost start that one again. Here I'm not sure about, but there is loads and loads of buds. 1, 2, 3. Same here, there's lots of buds all over there. So I'm just going to wait and see what comes out. I will be shortening that out, I'm sure. Far too long there, but there's a little bit of movement in there from wire. Again, I've just wired this out at the back so that I've got 2 buds that'll come. Need to put a bit of wire on this one by the look of it. Again, took that from upwards to down and to the back. This is probably too long. And I've reduced, there was a lot more up here, I've reduced that back down to stubs there so that the proportionate thickness of the structure from here will actually make sense with what's going on below it. And again, that's sometimes a good reason to cut right back. This, in the end, I thought about it. I'm going to put some wire on this one now. I've taken off a little bit of that chunk there that was there, but it makes much more sense if I can do something like that. So, which is what I'm going to do now. And just loosely around some of these, just to get, I just want the general shape and direction without getting in the way of the fronds that are going to come. So. Okay, so we've actually got 2 little buds here, 1 and 2, which will send new fronds out that way. We've got buds here. These are a bit hard. I'm going to bring that lower down. There's actually a nice little bud here, which I really want, and that could take over in this long piece here. But we know we still want to get strength and vigor going through this thing. If that's coming out there, I don't want to put that there. It's going to have buds coming out from there. Okay, so we're sort of about there. Oh look, cat, get away. Quite a redesign, well, not a massive redesign, but I've taken away quite a lot of branches, hopefully for the better. And I'll give that a wash under the bark. But I think we're done for the day. That's the Dawn Redwoods. Now what I was saying is experiment. I normally, or the last few years, I've been doing the Dawn Redwoods in the spring, early spring, and then looking then to see the buds. But there's absolutely no reason why you can't also do it in the fall, in the sort of mid-fall, like a fall. I've got to stop it. I listen to Candice too much. In the mid-autumn. So I've never done it in mid-autumn. It'll give me less work to do on these trees next year. So I'm doing 2 of them now, and the others I'll do in the spring, and to see if it's a difference in results. And I know I'm spoiled. I've got quite a number of the same species of different trees, and I'm doing the same thing with quite a few of them this year, mainly to see if I can spread the workload a little bit through the year. With all the maples and that done, it means I don't need to touch them until next May, so that's brilliant. Anyway, from Xavier, down the bottom of the garden with the light fading, even though it's only midday, I'm going to say farewell, happy bonsaiing, God bless.